Wow, didn't expect this.
Alright, how did we get here? With me crying while making an Iron Man helmet? It's not actually a long story, and I promise it will be worth it. If not, let me know in the comments how much I've wasted your time. And by the way, if that's the case, I'm sorry. Now, let's rewind back to 3 years ago. This was me, attempting to start a YouTube channel for the second time in my life. I'll tell you more about the first time someday. Maybe. And for reference, this channel you're watching is the third attempt. And while things aren't going great, I'm not planning to stop. Anyway, we've got some pretty clean footage. Me building my first Iron Man helmet after getting my first 3D printer. Spending way too much time on filling, sanding and painting before I even tried to motorize it. Even wearing a little apron. Cute. But by now, with woodworking and all that, I've accepted that dust will just fuse with my clothes and my skin. The motorization is where it got complicated. In theory, motorizing an Iron Man helmet is not that hard. There are tons of guides and it just requires a few components. It's a bit like a model kit really, which sadly means you don't actually learn that much about electronics while doing it. So how did I fail such a simple project? Well, it failed mechanically. There was just too much friction with the 3D printed arms for the servo to move the faceplate up. And that's where I made a bit of a mistake, because I gave up too early on the motorization. I just removed the arms, put magnets, and painted the whole thing. And while I absolutely loved the end result, and I still have that helmet, that failed motorization has always left a bad taste in my mouth. Which brings us to today, 3 years later, where I'm in the middle of a massive challenge to build an entire Iron Man suit and lose 40 pounds to fit inside of it.
Hold up! You know what time it is? It's helmet time!
Okay, you may think that building an Iron Man suit as an adult is nerdy, childish, or just plain stupid. Fair enough, you are entitled to your opinion. And don't worry, my own friends and family constantly remind me of what they think about me building an Iron Man suit. Judge me all you want, I don't mind. But please, give me a few minutes and keep watching to understand my story. Because this whole Iron Man weight loss challenge is honestly working way better than I expected.
Alright, we fit way better than in the old one, to be honest.
This time around, I want to build a helmet and the entire suit properly. But because of my self-imposed deadline and my ADHD brain that's been constantly distracted into starting new projects, I've wasted precious time and I had to scrap a very important video I was planning, a learning challenge. Just like my CAD and oil painting ones, except this time I would have learned electronics. With the looming end of the challenge approaching in just a few weeks, I decided to scrap that video and jump on working on the helmet. The trickiest part when building helmets like this is scaling and figuring out how it can fit your head. In my case, I printed the main parts of the helmet at 100% scale and it was just too small. So I reprinted the whole thing at 110%. Once you've got everything scaled and printed out, it basically becomes a model kit. So I first put heat inserts in the designated holes, using a soldering iron to melt those tiny brass thingies into the plastic itself. This provides a very strong connection, and I can then use screws to attach the moving part. 3 years ago, I didn't have those heat inserts, and they were not in the instructions, so you had to screw into the plastic itself, which wasn't great obviously. Much easier now honestly. I also use plastic welding to fuse some parts together, like the jaw's lower arms. That also uses a soldering iron to melt the plastic of two parts together, turning them into one. It's often a good idea to grab some more 3D printing filament and melt that on top to create an even stronger bond. While doing that, you basically become a human 3D printer, because that's exactly what a 3D printer does. Then everything comes together. Screws, washers, arms. Finally, onto the electronics, which, as you know by now, I'm not really good at.
Why is this not working?
Well, it's 6 p.m. I've made no progress at all. I don't know why it's making this sound. Wait, I may know why. I likely bought the wrong kind of servo motors. Let's change the servos. Hence why I'm just following instructions once again, barely understanding what I'm doing, and not enjoying a single second of it. Because here's the thing, this past week, it's the first time I have dreaded coming into the workshop. And I've been procrastinating working on that helmet like crazy. And that's because, you know, I don't like the way I'm working right now. I've been trying to follow the instructions, what resistors I need to use, ohms low and all that stuff. And I really don't enjoy working that way. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna be kind of finishing the helmet without painting or anything, but still like motorizing it with the Arduino so that I can fix my failure from 3 years ago. And after that will be the end of this video, because right after this, I'm gonna go hard on learning electronics. To be clear, I'm extending my original 4 months challenge into a 5 months and a half challenge. The new deadline is now June 28, 2026. This extension gives me the opportunity to do that electronics learning challenge I've been wanting to do. So yeah, I guess we're extending the challenge a little bit, but since I still kind of consider that I kind of failed that challenge a little bit by having to push it, right? Here's what we're gonna do. I mentioned that I wanted to do a giveaway, and at this point, that giveaway is very likely to be a 3D printer for one of you guys who are subscribed. Now, since I am doing an extension, I want to throw in something else for another one of you guys, and you know, I'm open to suggestions. I'd like it to be kind of, you know, maker or fitness related maybe, since this whole challenge is kind of blending both. So if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. Hopefully something not too expensive, because I don't have a lot of subscribers, I don't have a lot of views, which means I'm paying for those giveaways myself as a way to, you know, give back, because, well, you guys have helped me in a way that I never thought was possible. I'm actually gonna get emotional now. Because yeah, I've said in voiceovers before that I've always wanted to lose weight, you know. I've always been the fat kid. The fattest one within my cousins, within my friends, within the classroom, always the chubby boy, you know. So, I don't know. I'm just happy now that I found a way that works for me. Wow. Didn't expect this. But yeah, it's working. Making that stupid Iron Man suit, putting it all online for you guys to see, seeing the support I got. Even though it's not thousands, it's just like tens of people, it's enough. I don't know, it's enough for me not to want to disappoint anyone. Now that it's happening, I will finally be getting the six-pack I've been talking about for 15 years. Every time I failed to finish diet, gain it all back, I don't want that to happen again. So, yeah. Wow. That's crazy. I'm not normally one to share the tear for something like that, but yeah, apparently I had something bubbled up inside. But yeah, I want to thank you. That's why I'm doing the giveaway. Hopefully it helps someone in need. Someone who, you know, is creative and doesn't have the fun maybe to kind of fund that creativity, I guess. Yeah. More details on all that stuff later. Let's see if we can get this Iron Man helmet to open. Feels good talking about that stuff with you guys, even though there's no one in the room with me right now. Why did I cry? It's crazy. After working through my trauma with you, I got back to the electronics. Still not understanding what I was doing, but doing it anyway. Alright, if you feel like I haven't wasted your time, please like the video and maybe leave a comment. I truly appreciate each one of those, and it's honestly the best way to help me right now. It's the wrong way. I put it the wrong way. Of course I did. Of course. Don't you know me by now? Like everything I can do wrong, I will do wrong. Which is proof anyone can do it with enough trials and errors. I got it all connected and working, and finally, this time, the helmet opened. So I should be happy and excited to get to sanding and painting, right? Well, no, not at all. Because honestly, I am not satisfied with that shoddy work and the direction the whole project is taking. Trying to just follow a guide to build something as important as that suit will not be enough to satisfy me. And while the helmet has some good code and instructions available, that's actually not the case for the rest of the suit. And I want it to be easy to wear and customized to my needs. I want each body part to be independent, communicating wirelessly with the others. I want sound, light, motors, Jarvis. I want it all. Because I also have a couple of challenges I want to do while wearing that suit. And for that, I need to make sure the suit is comfortable and can be lived within. Because at the end of the day, I'm not a cosplayer. I'm not planning to bring this suit to conventions or anything. I'm a maker, and this suit is just one of my projects. So before I can continue working on the suit, I think it's time to learn electronics properly. And to make sure I actually understand what I'm doing, I'm gonna build a custom electronic heavy diorama inspired by the greatest game ever, Factorio. Subscribe if you don't want to miss it.